Welcome to the tour of my backyard. This is summer 2025, the 4th of July. Yeah, just take a walk through the back, see what's going on. So if you saw my tour in March, I can't remember if I showed this or not, but there used to be an enormous laurel hedge here. Like, it took up this whole spot. And it was there since we moved in, and I hated it. Someone planted this thing like so close to the house. Like, look at that. So the whole back was like sheared off. You see how it's like shaped to go, forward away from the house. Anyway, finally just got rid of it. Well, I mean, I cut it down and I managed to chip, part of it. So I put the chips down, I put compost down. So we're just kind of letting this bed simmer, and we're going to plant in the fall. I'm excited about that. Here's my thornless blackberry. It's doing good. It's got a lot of fruits forming on it, as blackberries are. It's pretty vigorous. I hacked that back, and yet it just, just comes back. And next to it we have a black elderberry. This is my, what is it? Sambucus laciniata, because of these beautiful, like, deeply serrated leaves. It's got some berries forming. Yeah, I guess it's got quite a bit of berries. This one berried well for me last year, so I'm hoping the same. I like to freeze the berries and make syrup with them. There's another big red flowering currant. It's my biggest one. My Acacia vines, which are new, and they haven't done anything yet except grow. And that's fine. They can just do their thing. Some skullcap there at the base. And other, other things. Plantain, buttercup. Mind the junk, sorry. Just, kid and garden junk. Lemon balm. Some people hate lemon balm, and I kind of get it because it like gets everywhere. I've been like leaning really hard on it. I've been harvesting it a lot. Doesn't seem to mind. Doesn't seem to care what you do because it just keeps growing. But I love it in tea, and the pollinators love it, so I can't really, hate on it too bad. Now this cool looking thing, I think if I remember correctly, is Iranian germander, and I wish I even knew why or how I got this. But it looks so cool, and I like it. And there's another one over here. Oh, here, it's the lovage, one of the lovages. Pretty good. It's got some buggies on it. There's a little ladybug. The soldier beetles really like this one. And the cardoon, that one doesn't get as much sun. It doesn't have as many blooms forming, but we'll see one that's like really big. So here it sort of doesn't look as glorious as it did, honestly, but there's tons of valerian in here. And so some of it is still blooming, but it's going to seed. And if any of you grow valerian, I'm sure you're aware what happens when you let valerian go to seed. You have a million more valerian. So I've been trying to cut the flowers off as they are done blooming, because I just don't need any more valerian. This is parsley. It's looking good. Just regular little parsley. There's my Fuki. It actually looks okay because it hasn't been too blistering hot yet for too long. It really doesn't like the heat. It'll like sag and look really bad, but if it gets enough water, it does okay. It was probably peak in like early May. It was like really lush and happy then. Kids love this one for parasols. It's a edible, but it didn't really get a great write-up, I've read, so I've never eaten it. I think I probably mentioned that in the other video. Some wood betony here. You can see a lot of the the flower heads are gone, so I've been harvesting it. Dry it. The pears are doing good. I am actually pretty happy with the pears. This one is an orchis pear, and it has pears on it. Yay! It also has rust forming, which I give up. I don't know. It happens whether I spray it or not, honestly. There's too many junipers in this neighborhood and in this world to fight the rest. So I'm just like, well, I don't know what to do. It makes pears and the tree is okay enough. So what's this? Silverberry. No berries, but it makes wonderful smelling flowers, and it's cool. Nitrogen fixing shrub, so I just kind of cut it back and use the prunings for mulch, like a lot of other things. I should have probably watched my old video because I'm probably repeating myself, but this is my bug snug, which is basically like a sort of a tower with little dead branches. It was sort of sunken down, so I refreshed it with some valerian stems because they were hollow stems, and those hollow stems are really appealing to a lot of little bugs. So it's just like a bug habitat tower, all together with what, poles and a tomato cage. So this pear, I can't believe it. This is my Camas pear, and it has literally never made pears until this year. I've had this tree for almost 10 years. This is the first year it's ever made pears. Every year I was like, I'm gonna get rid of you, I'm gonna cut you down, and it finally was like, okay, I'll make pears for you, sorry. So yes, good, yay. I don't know why it took so long. In there I have a couple autumn olives, which had flowers on them, but I don't see any berries, so I don't know, maybe they just need to grow up. I have two here. There's one in the front too, which is pretty small. This is my beauty bush, which is done blooming, but it makes beautiful pink flowers. Are very fragrant, and the bees love it. So the elderberry, that's that black lace elderberry, which is kind of grown more as ornamental. Sorry, the sun is like right there. But it does make berries. And I've heard they're, you know, it's a black elderberry, so you can just use the berries as you would. So I think I'm gonna collect those too this year. Oh, crunch. It stepped on some valerian stems. My apples are like loaded this year. Last year, 0. This year, too many. I've been trying to thin them. But yeah, wow, it's crazy. Oh my gosh, this branch is like really full. Which I guess is what, you know, fruit trees do that. They switch years. It's fine. And this year everything has been like really pretty good, except the plum and the peach. Those have been bad, but the apples are like crazy good. What are these kinds? One is a Freedom and one is an L-Star, and I can't remember which. I don't want to say because I forgot. I got those from Cloud Mountain Farm, which sadly went out of business sort of this year. It's gone, which is really sad, but a lot of my fruit trees I got from them, including this peach, which I would not do again. You can see it's just like kind of skeletal right now. I cut a lot of the dead branches out. It's got leaves on top, no peaches. I don't know, but it is serving as a trellis for one of my ground nuts here. So all is not lost, but I'm gonna probably do a hard cut back of the peach this season or whatever. Down here, which I did a little preview of in the beginning of the video, this is Greek mountain tea, Sideritis syriaca is the Latin name. I love this plant. There was a tea that Traditional Medicinals made called Greek mountain tea, and it had this plant in it with a couple other things, and it was so yummy. I loved it, and then they discontinued it, and I was like, what? So I found the seeds of this plant, and I started it from seed, and I grew the plant, and now I have several, and I don't need them anymore. I just make my own. And the flowers are gorgeous. I love it, and they hold up really well when they're dried. A globe thistle, looking nice. Starting to get just a tiny bit of that purple color. Oh, very good. There we go. That looks really cool when it blooms. Agrimony's blooming. I've been harvesting this for tea also. I learned about it recently. It's kind of like a panacea type herb. I am not giving medical advice, but I liked what I read about this herb because it's very prolific, and the seeds are kind of annoying because they're like these little Velcro burr things, and they catch everywhere, but if you just cut the flowers off, you don't have to worry about that. A lot of red clover too. Oh, here's one of my cats. It's Gunther. She's got a boy's name. She's a girl. She loves the sun. Speaking of like lots of fruit set, man, the blueberries, they're starting to get just a little color on them. They won't be ready for, I don't know, at least a couple weeks, I would say. I usually get them around late July. Oh man, there's one that's already blue though. Look at that. But yeah, we can see the branches are just like hanging down, heavy with fruit. And the cherry here, it's actually so much lighter than it was. I can't, I don't have a ladder or a way to get the ones up top. The birds just get them. But this branch here, it was literally like down here and just full, like thick with cherries, like absurd. It was crazy. So I've been picking tons of cherries, you know, cooking them and freezing them. But the birds, you know, get a lot, and they're full of worms too, which is kind of gross. But a little extra protein, you know. What can you do about the worms? Probably something, but I just can't do it all. Thimbleberry, volunteer thimbleberry. I've heard that's kind of aggressive, so I might. I don't know. I love thimbleberries; they're so yummy, but I might get rid of that one. Echinacea's starting to get going. I love echinacea; it's so pretty. Here's my Maximilian sunflower, which is a very similar to Jerusalem artichoke, sunchokes. Yeah, it makes a ton of tubers, like more than I can eat, honestly. But it's nice, and I've heard it's like a deer deterrent because the stems are sort of like bristly and not very like nice feeling. So, I mean, it would only work when the plant is like really tall, which is only part of the year, but. Yeah, more blueberries. So many. It's a good problem to have. Here's this corner. I can't even like get through on this side. It's like impenetrable, but we have hops and some like dead blackberry that I found. Oh, the hops are holding it up. Okay, great. Tons of hops. I love hops. They I use it for tea. They're a digestive bitter, and they're also good for like regulating hormones, and I guess people make beer with it. I don't drink beer, but here's one of my comfreys. This is probably my best comfrey. It's on. I already cut it back. Comfrey, you know, it gets tall, like, you know, however this tall, and then eventually it gets powdery mildew, and when it's done blooming, it looks kind of shabby. So you can cut those down and use them for mulch. I don't know where I put them. They're all shriveled up. Oh, that looks like it. Yeah, I just kind of like chop it up and, you know, lay it on the ground in places where it needs it. And then it does a second flush. The second flush, in my experience with my plants, has never been as exciting. So this is the second flush. Like, okay, we get one little inflorescence there, but, you know, it's an awesome plant. And then also here I'm climbing is my grape, which I really hope I get to eat a grape this year. It made grapes last year. Oh, look, something's happening here. Oh, look at that. I haven't seen that yet. It made grapes. And then I think the squirrels got it, because they were just gone one day. So yeah, I have a lot of squirrels and things around here. Jays. Yeah, the raspberries. This is like my main raspberry block here, and it's just bonkers. Like, you can't hardly even to shove your way through. I guess any path you take between the sunflower, Maximilian sunflower, and the raspberry, impenetrable. Here, thick but maybe doable. I had a tour here last week, and I was like trying to get a path through so people could get through my garden. Yeah, over here, the aronia berry. I love aronia. Oh, look at this, starting to get color. Yeah, speaking of prolific berries, this one is like unfailingly good producer. And the berries, you see, it forms like these clusters, and when they're ripe, they'll kind of hang down, and you can just like grab like 20 berries at a time. No thorns. Super easy picking, tons of berries, very high in antioxidants. It's kind of astringent, like fresh eating, I don't love it fresh. I think I could leave it on the bush longer, because once it gets color, they'll stay on the bush longer and ripen further. So I think I might actually like wait longer this year. But that's an awesome plant. My goji. Oh, okay, it did bloom, and now the bloom is kind of looking bad. But I mean, you know, it's just done blooming. Maybe see if I have other blooms. It usually blooms a little later. I don't see any others, but I don't know. We'll see. You can eat the leaves of that one too. lavender. Oh, this one's cool. Nettle-leafed giant hyssop. What's it? Agastache urticafolia, I think it's what it's called. Anyway, I think it's just so beautiful, and the hummingbirds love it. This looks really, really fun. I love edibles and medicinals, but sometimes you can just have a plant that is fun, that you like. You like the look of it, just like how it is in your garden. Henderson checker mallow. It's a native mallow. Edible. Yeah, this is like the wall of raspberries. Next to that we have my cardoon. One of my cardoons. This is my biggest one. Let's see if I can get a better shot without the sun. There we go. Just like a ton of flower buds on it this year. So obviously related to artichokes. But you don't eat the you know, whatever these are, the sepals, I guess, or something you eat. Not this time of year, but early on. In my first video I mentioned it, but eat the leaf stalk. And there's like recipes. It's like a Mediterranean thing, but I honestly just grow it because I love how it looks. And when these bloom, well, it's not even close now. They usually bloom in like August. But like these beautiful purple fuzzy flowers, and the bumblebees literally take like a bath in them. They just roll around in them. The hazelnuts are looking good as usual. I love my hazelnuts. Look at those again in a second. Here's the other lovage. It's pretty tall. I would say it's actually not as tall as it was last year. I mean, like anything, I guess it's leaning. That's probably part of it. How tall are you really? Okay. Well, it's pretty tall. I don't know what, 10, 11 feet? I feel like last year it was like 15 feet tall. It was so tall. But yeah, like all plants, you know, it has like, you know, ascends and then peaks and then kind of declines. So I think this cardoon is at its peak, and next year it probably won't be that big. Sorry for the interruption. My 4-year-old came out to say hi. Anyway, these are my hazelnuts, and so there's two types. You have to have two different kinds to pollinate. This one is Jefferson, and I remember that because I asked the guy who I bought it from how to tell the difference, because I forgot the names of them, or like which was which, and he said Jefferson makes the bigger nuts, and you can see it's, what is this, it's only 4th of July. These nuts are like big already. I'm like surprised. I'm a little concerned. Like I don't want them to, well, I don't know, once they you know, get big enough, the birds and the squirrels will get them, and I have to be on top of it and, you know, harvest it as soon. See, look at that one. Oh my god, I've gotten all over my hands from touching plants. You know how it is. Anyway, I love this plant. I love these trees. I cut them back a lot this last winter because they were just literally, you can see how much shade they make here and like kind of in between, which is great. But some of the plants that I planted underneath them are a little, you know, they're a little stifled because of all the shade. So I'm gonna kind of thin them out once in a while. Here's another cardoon. You can see this one is not as big, and it's older, so it's sort of like, you know, on the downward side of its lifespan, I would say. An elecampane. I have lots of elecampane. There's some in the front I kind of skipped, but I have it all over. It self-seeds, which I try to discourage, but it's also really easy to divide. Nice medicinal. Another silverberry. You can see this one, so when I got it, you know, it's like a variegated type. It's like golden silverberry. I'm like, okay, fine, that sounds nice, but now what's happening is it's just reverting back to its non-variegated state. Oh well, I don't really, you know, I don't care about that, but all right, I think that's it for the back garden. The next one will be the perennial vegetable bed. Thanks for joining me.